Tell you what, this is why I'm actually here. Man, I'm so saddened by the death of Prince. And you see I got my afro on and my glasses. And I was actually I've been doing a lot of R&B. I was going to do some disco R&B, and that's why I got these in the first place. But if you look at some of the recent pictures last couple years, Prince looks similar because he's been wearing his afro. So, it's so funny over the last month or so, I've been working on this song. I didn't actually write the song, but I wrote the lyrics, and I've been working on this song, and it just saddens me. I actually was out there shooting a video when I found out that I stopped, and then I found out that Prince had passed away. So I got a few stories about Prince. I got actually just two little stories about Prince, or about Carmen Electra, which was about Prince, and I never met him. I didn't get a chance to see him, but I am saddened by his stuff because I was so influenced, and that's another reason why I even got this guitar a few months ago for my son, and an acoustic guitar, because I want him to learn how to play an instrument. And of course, my wife's classically trained, but me and music, I love hip hop, but I know they always say learn how to play that instrument. So I do a lot of silly stuff with Michael Jackson, and I know he never really played an instrument, at least in front of the crowd. And Prince did. So I just wanted my son to learn that skill, because I don't know the skill. I know some notes, but I just don't get it just yet. But anyway, here's my quick little stories about Prince. I'll tell you the shortest one first. Carmen Electra, her birthday was yesterday. My birthday was yesterday, April the 20th. And I was going to put this little story out, which was saying it was somewhat like, I had 5 or 6 different stories about how I knew or seen Carmen Electra. Now, I never really met her either. Of course, I've been in the same place with her plenty of times, and I've spoken to her, but not in detail. She couldn't say, oh yeah, that's Greg Reese, I remember him. So anyway, she had met Prince, I guess, I don't know, 90, 91, whenever that was. And she came home to Tri-County, and I was in this mall called Tri-County Mall, and I saw her with this long, it was a Prince coat because it had the symbol on the back, 1992. And I think it's at 92 or whatever, so I'm sure it was a tour jacket, and it was just something. I was like, oh man, there's Carmen Electra. And I wanted to go get her autograph, but she was with her mom, so I didn't want to disturb her. I didn't want to kind of mess up her flow. So that was one story. But she came home with a Prince jacket. Now here's another story about Prince tickets. I never got a chance again to see him in person, and even when he came to Cincinnati, not saying I would have even seen him in person, but he came to Cincinnati in 1997. I won tickets through a radio station because I was able to talk for about 3 hours. Now that sounds crazy. I started out, I called the radio station. They said, Greg, if you can talk so-and-so to the end of the show. Actually, I think it was the end of the show at 10. So maybe it ended at 10, 10:30 or whatever it was. Whenever that show ended, it was the Brian and John Jay show. So I was on my cell phone, 7:30. And I had to talk for, again, those 3 hours. So first I started out talking fine. Hey, yeah, my name is Greg Reese. How are you guys doing today? And as you stop thinking of words, you got to start being innovative. So I started chopping up words. Hey, my name is Greg Reese. How are you today? And the funny thing is, this was one of my first cell phones, and the batteries were very big. The cell phones were big, batteries were big, and they didn't have a lot of charge. So maybe it had half an hour, 45 minutes. So I started talking, hey, this is Greg Reese. And for some reason, they heard me. Well, actually, no, I drove to the station. They heard me say, hey, I'm Greg Reese. I'm stuck outside. My battery's running down. I want to keep talking. I don't know what they heard. Anyway, they let me in the station. I talked all the way up to the show area. I could see everybody in the show area, and I was talking, how are you today? That was just saying nonsense stuff. I might have been trying to rap sometimes, but they put me in this room off to the side. And they gave me one of the station phones, so they connected me to the station. So what the goal was, in order to win the game and to win the tickets, I had to keep talking. So no matter what they do, if they were talking on air to anyone else, as soon as they go to me, I had to be saying some kind of words. And I know Brian will remember this because it was probably one of the most innovating things they did. I know John Jay, he was out west last time I seen, maybe 10 years ago. So I'm sure he will remember it as well. And anyone else that walked in that station, because they had Greg Reese coming in there with a cell phone talking to win Prince tickets. Probably only 2 or 3 times Prince came to Cincinnati. in the last 20 years. Probably, I don't know. We could search that. But anyway, so I won the tickets. I didn't go see Prince because I wanted to be with my godson that weekend, but it was still fun. So those are my memories about Prince. Here's the main memory about Prince. He influenced a generation, and he influenced me. When I listened to his music, of course, it was kind of risque, and but he made you think. He had these symbols and letters and everything that just made you say, what is he talking about? So you listen over and over again. He had the backwards message. I know probably got some of that stuff for the Beatles. But he made you think over and over again and again, just being that artist, even when it was this big, seemed like it was a war or whatever, battle between Michael Jackson and Prince. He still always stood out and held his own. So, those are some memories I think about and I share with Prince. And I know I went over a little bit about Prince, and I know I went over a little bit longer than I wanted to, but it's exciting to hear that. So pretty soon, I'm going to learn how to play this. And then I'm going to come on back with some more tributes. Oh, check out my tribute. It was not really a tribute, but I called it My Inner Prince. I made it last year. I'm just talking loud and running around, talking high and running around. I love you in the morning. I don't even know how to find that note. Anyway, it's Greg Reese saying peace.